Hello my friend and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impression of the new Colourpop cheek palettes. I have two shades and I have the Born to Blush and At First Crush. I believe this one is supposed to be like an apricot warm rose tone, and then they said this one was more of like a coral champagne-y kind of color scheme. But when you saw the palettes on the website, they looked very similar. Like, I'll insert a picture here, and while I have that up, I will show you the two palettes. So they just looked super similar, and I wasn't quite sure which one would be my shade. So this one is the At First Crush, and then this one is the Born to Blush. So in person, they definitely look different. This definitely looks deeper than this one does. But as you can see in the like promo photos, here, can I do it like this? As you can see in the promo photos, they look very similar. And I'm a light to medium color range, and right now I look very white. I think I'm just a shade, my natural shade is just a shade darker than this. I don't know, but it also could be that I'm wearing like a black sweater on a fairly fair background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do At First Crush on this side, and then I'm going to do Born to Blush on this side. And I just want to do a color comparison because I don't think you need to have all of them. I don't know. They look very similar, and I like the Super Shock highlighter formula, and I love the Colourpop blushes. And I wanted to add more variety to my collection, so I don't personally mind having these two cheek palettes, but I don't know if that's something that like you need to have in your collection, especially when the colors are so similar. So let's go ahead and let's start with the first side, At First Crush. And I'm going to use the same brushes, but I have a brush cleaner so I can go between the two. There, am I in focus? Okay. So I'm going to go in with the bronze shade. And so far, it just looks like my normal bronzer shade. It might be a bit warmer than what I'm used to, because this is kind of a very orange bronze. But I don't mind. Oh, my little hairs. My only complaint is that the palettes themselves are very small, because I normally use something like this for my bronzer, but like, how am I going to fit that in here and not pick up everything else? Maybe I can just blend it out. Let's see. It's very pretty, but like I said, it's just picking up a bit warmer on my skin. Maybe you can't really tell on camera, but when I'm looking at it, it looks a bit warmer than what I normally use. I do like this bigger Sigma brush though to really swipe it on. Okay. Which blush am I gonna go in with? I'll go in with the more orangey shade, the High Infatuation. At least I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah. Let's see. And I'm not going too heavy into the pan. I'm just tapping my brush onto the palette. I'm someone that has to go in with a very light hand and build up, because I will go in very heavy-handedly and then look like a clown. So let's see. It's a very cute blush, very pigmented, and I like my blushes to be a bit of like a wash of color, because I can go in very heavy-handed, and I don't know, I think it's hard to take away blush if you go in too heavy. And I don't know, I feel like I've been using a lot more cream blushes lately than powdered blushes, but this is really pretty. Like this is definitely, like, this is a tone I would reach for if I didn't have a purple eye look. That's pretty cute. Okay. And then I'm gonna go in with the Super Shock Shadow, and I like to spray them. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I saw it in one video one time, and after I did it, I really loved it, so now I always do it. And I love this formula because I'm not too fond of like the blinding highlights. I do like them for some looks, it depends, but like if I'm just doing my normal makeup and I'm like going out, or I just want to feel pretty, I usually just go for a more glow from within kind of highlighter. And these are beautiful like cheek toppers, and they blend really nicely and almost change the tone of the blush. So this is really pretty. And I tend to like highlights that have more of like a pinkier catch to it. It's probably because I wear a lot of like purple eye looks. I guess even when I do my green eye looks, I don't know. I just think that the pinkier highlights complement my skin tone a lot more. I like that. Okay. So let's move on to the next palette. This one seems to be a lot fairer in shade, so I don't know how well this is gonna turn out. Let's see. I'm gonna go in with that bronze again. I mean, this could almost be a blush on me. It doesn't... It gives enough of like a bronzing effect, but I really have to dip in, like I'm really pushing my brush in to pick up product. But I normally don't have to do that with the bronzers I already have. And I didn't have to do it with the bronzer on the other side, so that makes me just think that this is a very fair bronzer on me. But it looks cute. I think this is more of like a cooler tone. I would assume so, because I think a more champagne-y tone is maybe like a pink silver kind of cast. I didn't do this with the other side, but maybe I will. Okay. And then for this one, I will go in with the deeper shade. And this is a little Bashful, right? Under the bronzer, yes. And I tend to like more of like a nude rosy kind of blush if I'm doing like a natural tone. I don't know, that's like the kind of nude pink I like to gravitate towards. So I really like this. This is cute. Definitely softer. And then let's go in with that, with the Super Shock highlighter. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely like a more cooler tone. This, you can kind of tell one tone, I think one palette is more for the warmer tone and one is for the cooler tone, and that would explain why they look similar in the promo photos. Because they're almost the same color sets, but just to complement the proper undertone. Let's see. I'm going to fix my bronzer. And take it back down the side of my face. I don't know if you can really tell a difference on camera, like the shades. I really just feel like this side is warmer and then this side is cooler, which makes sense because the Born to Blush definitely looks cooler than the At First Crush. I'm happy to have both. I tend to kind of play between cooler tones and warmer tones. If you know what shades kind of complement your skin tone, you can kind of get away with both. Like, I don't believe, like, I know that there are some people who don't wear cool tones because it doesn't suit them. They swear by warm tones, and the vice versa. Maybe this is just the trait of being a more neutral leaning, because I can kind of play with both and I don't mind. It just really depends on what other colors I'm using on my face to kind of pull everything together. So that aside, let's talk about the formula. A little really goes a long way. Except for that bronzer on this side, like I said, I really had to like dip in there for anything to really show up. But I just think that's because it's not a true bronzer shade for me. Like, I think I could get away with just that being more like a natural blush, which is fine. I'm not mad at it. The Super Shock formula in both are really pretty. Like, they both give me that glow from within, and it's very nice. I wouldn't say that it's like subtle, but it's not like in your face. Like, I am wearing a Kaleidos multi-chrome highlighter right now. So that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. Like, I like to wear my Kaleidos highlighters when I'm doing a whole fun look, but for an everyday kind of thing, I'm okay with this. And I think the blushes are really great. I did try to stick more to the orange tones. I'm curious how the so the blush I did use on this side was actually Got Butterflies, and the shade I didn't use is High Infatuation, which is this more like pinkier tone. I'm curious to see how that looks, but I'd probably wear that more in the winter time rather than the summertime, because it does look very plummy is not the word, but it's just like that deep pink, you know, like that just reminds me more of winter than it does summer. Summer for me is more like orange and pinkier tones, like the lighter spectrum of pink. But this is really cute. I don't know, I don't have a preference in the highlighters. I think they're both cute. Like, they both, you know, have a time and a place. My only downside, I guess, to this whole thing is that, like, the promo pictures, they all look super, super similar, and the color descriptions really don't tell you exactly what's going on. Let's see. So I'll read the descriptions of the palettes just so we can kind of see if Colourpop was lying to us. Our 4-pan cheek palette will become your go-to for everything cheeky. This all-in-one palette features a highlighter, bronzer, and blush in one. Brush on a touch of sun-kissed color with our creamy bronzer, giddy-like in a warm golden tan, followed with blushes. Got Butterflies, a bright apricot, and High Infatuation, a warm rose, for a smooth, soft, focused flush. On top with Cult Fave Super Shock Highlighter, a Flutter for a radiant glow in bright, warm apricot bronze. Crushing on apricot, gold, and warm rose all in one palette. So, I mean, that confirms that this is the warmer toned palette. And I guess if you, like, do they sell this Super Shock highlighter on its own? Because then, I mean, you could almost just skip out on this and buy that highlighter. It's very, very pretty. Let's see what the other palette says. Brush on a touch of sun-kissed color with our creamy bronzer, all the feels, in warm golden brown. Follow with blushes, inner blush, a warm beige, and Little Bashful, a soft peach, for a smooth, soft focus flush. And top it off with Cult Fave Super Shock Highlighter, Camera Shy, for a radiant glow and warm sparkling champagne with golden shimmers. Blush with coral, champagne, and bronze all in one palette. So I don't really get too much of like a warm tone with this one. The Born to Blush, it definitely seems like a cooler tone to me. And I don't think these are creamy. I don't think these are a cream blush. I'm pretty sure these are a powder. Yeah, these are powder blushes. These are not cream blushes. These are a powder blush. They don't really feel any different from the blushes themselves. Like, the only one that feels creamy is like the Super Shock highlighter, but I mean, I'm not going to dig my finger into my highlighter. So I don't know. Does Colourpop have a history of having confusing shade definitions? Am I just discovering something new? Overall, like, I think if you were interested in these are definitely worth the money, and I think this is like a top quality product. It's not just a lower end and you're getting like mediocre products. Like, I think these are really, really nice. I'll play with them for the month and kind of see which one I gravitate towards the most. I just feel like one is for the summer seasons, and one would probably be more of like my winter seasons. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll play around with them and I will let you know. I usually do like a what I bought in the month video, and then I kind of recap all the things that I tried. Otherwise, I don't know, is it even noticeable that I'm wearing two different, probably like the bronzer, but maybe not so much the blushes. Who knows? I do like the packaging. Like, it is very basic packaging, but it doesn't feel like cheap. Like I feel like I could crush my NYX container like in my hands, like, you know, and like crack it, but this like feels sturdy. I think this is a really great product for travel, or like if, I mean, I don't know, do people touch up their makeup at work? Like, I don't even wear makeup to work. But if I'm traveling, like, I don't really want to carry a lot of stuff. And this feels like it's sturdy enough that I don't have to worry about it breaking. And for the price point, if I did travel and this got all like crazy on me, I wouldn't feel too sad, because it was only like $10. That's okay. I mean, like, I have like Marc Jacobs bronzers, you know, that are like on the higher price point, that I would be miserable if those broke, because like, I don't know, $10 versus $50. Anyway, so that's it for today's video. Let me know, have you bought any of the palettes from this collection? Are you interested in any of the shades in this collection? They also have deeper tones. It seems like there's a wide range. My only upset is that the promo pictures look very, very similar. But I love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.